Hello everyone and welcome to episode 3 of the Car News by Carcode podcast, the place for automotive news, reviews and interviews. So we're at episode 3, really exciting. I haven't done one for a couple of weeks and there's quite a lot to catch up on, so I'm going to get straight in with the news. This week's news, there's been a lot of Volkswagen Group news, which obviously is always exciting to me. We've seen 2 new GTX ID models be launched. I always find it quite interesting when manufacturers launch 2 cars at the same time. Obviously, it's more cost effective for them and if they're launching loads of cars in a year anyway, but sometimes it seems a bit better to stagger them out. But we've seen the release of the ID3 GTX as well as the ID7 Tourer GTX. So 2 exciting electric vehicles, performance side vehicles. Basically, I was talking about the Cupra VZ the other week, and that is basically what this ID3 GTX is going to be in its highest output. The ID3 GTX will be had in 2 different power outputs, 282 or 322 brake horsepower, but it's all to the rear wheels again like the Cupra Born VZ. GTX, we were initially thinking they were all going to be all-wheel drive models, but unfortunately not. The touring model of the ID7, however, the GTX, that will be all-wheel drive. So a combined output of 335 brake horsepower, around 110 of that being on the front wheels and the rest being on the rear. So it'll still be a rear-wheel drive biased car, but still great that we're seeing all-wheel drive. They both got similar design to them, so they've got new 20-inch Skagen alloy wheels. I think that's how you'd say it, Skagen. Obviously, they're both in the King's Red for the press cars. They look nice, very bright and just performance cars really. So apparently the ID3 GTX is what Volkswagen sees as an electric version of the GTI Club Sport. So if you want to watch my video on the Golf GTI Club Sport, you can click up there if you're watching on YouTube. I've done a review on that car. So it's interesting to see. I'd probably still go with the Cupra Born. The ID7, however, is kind of the only thing of its ilk, so that is quite interesting. The ID7 GTX is probably going to start at over £60,000 and the ID3 GTX is expected to start at around £45,000. So neither of them are going to be cheap, but of course they're going to be known for having that refinement that we know from Volkswagens, having great handling as well. I'm more excited for the newer next generation of ID models that are coming out. That's that news. The next news is the Audi A3 facelift. So we know the Golf got a facelift. The whole sort of range is getting facelift. So the Octavia's got a facelift, the Golf's got a facelift, and now it's the Audi's turn for a facelift. So they've got 2 different variants that they've been showing in the press pictures, and they've released a new car called the Audi A3 All Street, and it's sort of like a all-road looking thing. So it's like between an SUV and the A3, and you might just think, Sam, isn't that just an Audi Q3? Not quite, it's just an A3 just on stilts a bit with the cladding, so think like a Ford Focus Active, that type of car, and I think it looks really good. However, it's not been confirmed yet if it's coming to the UK. On the European press site it is on there, but on the UK press site it's not, just the normal A3, so I have a sneaky suspicion it's not coming to the UK, which is a shame I think, because of course SUVs get a lot of hate, don't they, in the motoring world, that there's too many of them, etc. But I think the gap, bringing back crossovers, is quite an interesting thing because you're able to mix them, and of course you still have the option if you want to go for a normal hatch. So it looks like minor tweaks, especially inside. We've got a different steering wheel, looks like the ones off the A7, looks quite nice. There's going to be the 1.5 plug-in hybrid now, like on the Golf, different outputs, mild hybrid. Apparently the 6-speed manual will be coming on the all street models later on as well, and we're still going to have the 2-litre TDI diesels as well. So that's interesting. That's for the European market anyway. UK, not sure. They've got this new district green colour. Maybe it's inspired from the Lake District, who knows, where I live. But yeah, that looks interesting. Just a nice tweak. Lots of people are not happy about the facelift. They're saying that Audi's not done enough with it, but I think the A3 looks great anyway, so it didn't need a lot of work doing. I quite like the look of the new A3 facelift. And in other news, going right down to the bottom, cheapest of the cheap cars, it's a car that I've also reviewed actually, my latest review, so it works in perfect timing. We've just got the UK pricing revealed for the Dacia Spring. So that's that little Diddy Dacia EV, and it's going to start at 14,995. That's for a brand new electric vehicle. You can click up there to watch my video on the Dacia Spring. I saw that at the Geneva Motor Show a couple of weeks ago now, and that was really interesting to see. Of course, it's not a premium car, it's not the safest, the range isn't amazing, the quality isn't amazing, it's not really fast, 45 or 65 brake horsepower, so you know, it's not quick. But for town and city, I thought it'd be a really great car. It would be great to drive one to see what it's actually like. I'm not expecting massive things, but for that price, it's excellent. I did say in my review, of course, 15 grand, you can get loads of really good, nearly new and used EVs out there as well. So you can get a Mazda MX-30, you can get a Nissan Leaf, you can get an e-Golf, you can get so many different cars, an e-Up, you know, which is what I kind of compared it to. It looks like this, the Xiaomi electric e-Up, it's that kind of size, and they're not made anymore. So it's made itself a good place there in the market. But if someone wanted a brand new car, they didn't want to go down the used route, it could be a good option. So definitely something worth considering. They've gone for bright colours, and they've definitely, I like Dacia's identity a lot more now than I ever used to. I've never been a massive Dacia fan, but I think what they've been doing with the brand, as a budget brand, they're doing a good job. Safety, not amazing, but it is just for the town and city really. Got a safety assistance radar for emergency braking, things like that. So, you know, they are getting along a little bit in terms of their safety technology. So that's always interesting. It's going to have official range of up to 137 miles. So again, it's not groundbreaking, but it's the cheapest EV on the road. So what do you really expect? So that's that. From 15 grand, we're going to be seeing that. I wonder how well it'll keep their value. We'll see, but they reckon it will keep it pretty well. And was in an article about presence of influencers at the motor show and stuff. Influencers, I don't feel like an influencer. But yeah, so that was really interesting, and it was like a bit of a whirlwind really to be there at a big motor show. I wasn't there on the press day, which I would have liked, but then in the end it worked out really well. We went on the VIP day, which ended up being expensive, but it was the quietest day, even quieter than press day, so I got quite a lot done. I've even put a playlist, I'll put it up there, like videos from Geneva, so I did like a full tour of Geneva, and then did a few individual videos as well, so that was including the Dacia Spring as well. So yeah, it's been really busy, and I've not done a lot since I've got back really. More news, it was International Women's Week last week as well, which I celebrated with a post. I want to thank as well, I thought I'd audibly say it, some of the really great inspirations in the industry. Most of the people I've watched have been women from day dot really. I mentioned Rebecca Jackson, I mentioned Ginny Buckley, Abigail Andre from She Talks to Cars, Natisha Chatton, Autosocial UK, also Nicola Hume, who's done car buyer videos, is currently on the team with Electrifying with Ginny. So really, really inspirational people out there, and it's so nice that I'm in an industry. It's a nice place to be, because if it was like the music industry or something like that, you wouldn't really have your idols and people like that, you wouldn't be interacting with them. But I am able to, not like day in day out, but a couple of times meet some of them, and will be this year as well. So I think that's really nice. That was nice to celebrate that, and see loads of people talking about that was really great as well, because they've helped me out just by making great videos and content and ideas, and you know, fueling it. We see other people doing what you want to do, and it gives you kind of motivation and shows that it is possible, because obviously it's still kind of a new thing. It is possible to be really successful from doing this sort of thing and doing reviews, and you are actually providing a lot of value for people, which sometimes you forget. I think now it's time to go on to your comments. Comments. This is comments from episode 2 of the podcast. So Late84, who's already commented on the videos before, so thank you. Thank you for reading my comments out from your episode 1. The way you're presenting this is great, and I'm glad you're putting yourself out there over Spotify, TikTok, etc. It's very entertaining. Hopefully your accreditation will come through for you to attend those press events. Everyone in the motoring world started out small, so good luck for you and your dad in the future. So that was a really lovely comment, so thanks for that first of all. Saying you and your dad, that was about my dad came with me to the Geneva Motor Show, so he was my cameraman, which was really great, and it's just a nice thing to do. Like they said, everyone in the motoring world started out small, and I would say good luck to everyone as well. If anyone is starting out YouTube, automotive, content creation in the automotive space, definitely get in contact with me. We could do a collaboration, or you could be included on the podcast. I'm still trying to get guests. I'm going to give myself like 5 episodes before and maybe include someone, or just to settle into it a little bit more, and then I'll start adding people. But of course, you know, it's just a challenge of getting timings and everything, but I will be doing it. And someone said on my Cars Coming in 2024, when is the Tavascan coming out in the UK Carcode? So talking about Cupra, we talked about Cupra before. The Tavascan is that large coupe SUV from Cupra. The Tavascan is going to be available to order at the end of this year. The official launch at the end of this year, pricing and everything, and then it should be hitting our roads next year, so 2025. That's quite exciting, but apparently it's going to be priced at about £55,000, so it's not going to be cheap, but it looks incredible. I've not actually seen one in the metal yet. Hopefully that'll be something I'll do this year as well, so fingers crossed. And then last but not least, I'm going to go through what's next. Coming soon. So, got some exciting things coming next. I've actually got another car. Not a new car, and it's not replacing my current car, which is a Golf. I'm keeping that. I'm having an additional car. It's going to be kind of mine and my mum's car. So, my mum's old Micra is absolutely dead. So that's going to be going away. And there's a little clue here if you're watching on YouTube. I'll give you that as the clue. Not something like super like amazing fast, definitely not fast, cheap run around, but it's going to keep some miles off my car. My mum's going to have a new car, which is much needed, reliable. That'll be good. So yeah, I'm going to have a lot of content about that, which I'm very excited about, honestly. Yeah, I've wanted another car for a long time, and I know it's such a luxury, but it's going to be my mum's car. But it would be silly us having 4 cars on the drive, so we're going to have 3 cars, but we're going to work it out. I'm so excited. It's got heated seats. That's like so exciting to me, and that I've been able to do that for my mum is so great. In terms of reviews, if you have any more suggestions or ideas, I definitely take them on board and think about, oh, how can I incorporate this? Especially if I know that people are wanting to watch certain things, then I'll always try and add that. Geneva content, I've pretty much done it all, I think. There might be the odd thing. Someone was asking about the MG9. I did do a quick bit on them in Geneva, so I might put them on. I am going to try and start doing more short form content on TikTok. It's just finding the time there. Make sure you head over to Spotify as well and follow me on Spotify. I think it should be coming over to Apple Podcasts pretty shortly as well, so keep an eye out on there. And obviously subscribe to me on YouTube. I feel like I'm doing really well on YouTube at the moment, so thanks for everyone for subscribing. It's crazy, especially last month. It was insane. I got a massive amount of subscribers and engagement on my videos. Everyone was loving the Ford content, and then the show content's done quite well as well. Especially everyone liked the MG3 and the Dacia Duster, so some exciting new releases there. Affordable cars there, petrol and a hybrid, so shows you what people are looking for. So that was this episode 3 podcast. Please make sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so you're notified every time I upload a new video, and then you can see episode 4 of the podcast. More exciting content going up, so I'm really excited to share that. More exciting news hopefully as well. So thanks for watching this episode of Car News by Carcode, and I look forward to seeing you in my next episode or in my next review.